record. Great. Hi, everyone. Let's do a quick review of lesson 9. In lesson 9, we learned the switch statements and the while loop. There are not many, quite a few loops, and the first one is a while loop. So for switch, remember the syntax is the keyword switch, and then there's a condition check, and the condition actually value is it's not a condition, it's a expression. Expression normally is a value or integer or string, it's a value, and match the different values, different values and associated with different block of code. And this the break will stop the code, so won't continue to the next case. So the break is needed. And the while loop, the syntax is the keyword while, and then this is not expression, this is a condition. Normally it's either true or false. If it's true, it runs the code inside. If it's false, it just leave this block. It just jump to the end of the code. And the quiz questions. Oh, this one, instead of asking you to write a whole code, I give you the code. Actually, it's the code with bugs, and I ask you to debug this code and see if you can fix it. I hope you have tried it. If not, and let's do that together and see what you did is correct or not. So if you have installed this Visual Studio Code, it's going to be easy. Switch, let's borrow this thing. You just paste in that thing. Oh, it's already there. Let me put that in again. So as soon as you paste the thing in, it checks something. This is the red wavy thing. That means something wrong. I think you move the cursor there. It says something. Something wrong. No quick fixes available. Basically, something badly wrong and doesn't know what to do. So what we need. Remember the switch syntax. Switch, keyword, parentheses, expression, and the open curly braces, close. So we just need to follow that syntax or format. So the first thing here is we need open curly braces. See this thing, you type open, it show the close as well. You have to delete it. So let's see. Oh, okay. And still something wrong. What's this thing? Syntax error, insert all column. Okay, so you need the column here. This you can have a space, I think. Yeah. And move down here. So here there's a syntax error on token. Delete this token. That means a find, see this one and match this one, and this one match that one, and this one match that one. So got extra, but you can delete it. But that's not the right one to delete, actually. After you delete that, it checks the curly braces match. So if you put a cursor there, it shows the little, square here. You put it here, should match that thing. You put there and show that. But then the question is where that from? So the message says break cannot be used outside of a loop or a switch. That means you put the break outside. Okay. So what we need is, okay, let's break there, break out too many breaks, yeah. So delete that thing and see what happens. Great, now there's no red little wiggly thing. Then we can run. Yeah, we give a value 26, 26, where's the 26? Oh, 26 doesn't match, 16 does not match, 18, not 65. So it falls under default, means please give a valid age. Well, yeah, 26 is valid, but message is wrong. 16 is valid. So that's good. Oh yeah, 16. So 16, you are under 18. That's fine. We just want that. And it continues say you are eligible for vote. That's from here, right? So what happened is, if we only care about 16, we shouldn't show the message for 18. So that means we need a break here. Put that there. Now if we run it, you are under 18, so that match that message. We put 18, run again. Yeah, so you are under 18, you are eligible for vote. Yes, good. I just noticed that this is a terminal. So this is a terminal, just like the regular terminal you open on Mac. This is opened by this editor actually. So what you can type any Mac command. Well, don't worry if you don't know it, but it's okay. You can clear the screen. You can run the code from here. So 18, yeah, it's not on 18. So that's wrong. That means when we save the thing, this editor does not actually compile the code. So we have to compile the code here. Java, so you remember that trick. Switch Java, you compile it. Now we have a new class. We have this is the source code. This is called a compiled binary file. Don't try to open that class file because it's not text. You can open Java, but don't open the dot class. Okay, if you open the Java class, you see all those junk characters. Well, it's a binary file. But anyway, so now see the timestamp that match or newer. Now we can run the program from here. Switch. See, now that match the value 18, 18, you are eligible for vote. So that's correct. Okay. Okay. That's that one. Let me see. What's the other one? Oh, use a while loop to print all numbers from 100 to 120. Yeah, remember the while loop? The while loop is a while and a condition and then code. So one example is that. So let's just copy that instead of retype. Copy that. We use the loop thing. Add some space here. Yeah, we can run because that's from 0 to 5, 0 to 4, not including 5. But our homework is print all numbers from 100 to 120. So we want to start with 100, right? And to 120. And I think that include 120, so less than or equal to when print out. And increase the variable I by 1 after each loop. So let's run it. Oh yeah, see, we got 100 to 120. So that's the answer. Yep, that's that. Okay, any questions? No, okay. Let's move to the new lesson. It's another loop. It's we have many loops. This one called a do while loop. That's similar to the while loop here. Remember the while loop? You while and the condition and do something. That means only if the condition is true, you do something. But in the do while, see the do whiles, it doesn't care about the condition first. It said, just do that, and then check the condition. If the condition is true, then go back and do it again, or the second time, and then check the condition. Okay. Let's say if you start with something, you do the thing first, and then check condition is false, and then okay, fine. At least I did it once, and then continue, and it doesn't look back. You see the difference? The difference is no matter what, no matter if the condition is true or false, then it does run once anyway. So no matter what. So that's a difference, okay? In the while loop, even the first time or first loop, you have to check condition first. But in the do while means, okay, forget about the condition, check, just do it once. And so the first time, it always does run the code. And then from the second time, it start to check the condition and decide to continue or loop back or not, okay? So that's a difference. And the example here is, this is the regular while loop, and this is the do while loop. Let's put those into our code and see what happens. Loop, let's copy both. And copy, paste in. Yeah, the second closing curly brace is that to match the main function. So how about this? This is for main. This is for the class. So don't delete either of those because they need to match the first one and the second one. And the between that is between here and here. That's a place you need to change. Okay, so let's put something here also. So we know that we are starting a new code. Here, how about, what do we want to type here? Do while. So there. And the first one is switch. Okay, so this is do while underneath. So let's run it first. So you can see that when you run the code here, we don't see anything before do while, means before this line. How about this? Let me compile this code. This is loops, compile, clear the screen, and run the code. Okay, we only get the lower part. We didn't get the top because for the first one, the while loop, we start with a 6. And when the while loop runs, they check this condition first. Is I less than 5? Nope. Okay, nothing happened. So skip those two lines and then continue here. That's why we see do while as a first output. Okay, the same conditions. Okay, start with 6, and okay, print out. So okay, that's 6, and 6 increase 1, so that's 7. And then check, is I less than 5? No, I is not less than 5. Okay, fine, just print 6. So that's the difference, okay? But on the other hand, if we change that to 0, both start at 0, now we run it. Let me run from the command. So we see the difference. Oh, see, this is difference. We change here when we run, it saves the code automatically. And if we do that here, we have to manually save it. So I need to save and get a command save. That means that little solid dot, scan. That means the file is saved. But you cannot run it yet because we are running the older version of this program. This is the subtle thing with programming or Java programs. See, we changed the source code. The timestamp is 5:18, but the binary, this is the binary file. That's the file we need to run is before 18. That means it's the older version. Okay, to bring this binary file or class file up to date, we have to compile it. So Java, remember Java C loops, Java compile. Now check the timestamp. It's newer. See that class, that 7, 8, 19. That's after 18. So that means, as long as the binary or the dot class file is newer than the source, then that means you are, if you run the program, you are running the latest version. So now let's run it. Put my command back. I'll run it. Oh, okay, there we go. See, we got same output from the regular while loop, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the do while 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So no difference. So no difference. Why there's no difference? Because this counter or this variable I, is 0. Start with 0 and check the condition check is less than 5. So that's why we get that. And the same as here, start 0 and without checking the condition or do the comparison, it print out the initial value anyway, and then increase and then continue until the value is 5. So that's why. So you can see the difference between the while and the do while. It's not always there. It's not always there. Okay. Only at a certain value. Only if the initial value is actually greater than the check or the value here you want to check. All right. That's the do while. Do we have another example here? Oh, okay, we do. Okay, let's try one more example here. Preset. Oh yeah. I don't like keep. No, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Just replace. Again, we need something middle. Fine. So we know what we're doing. Separate the two blocks. Again, we need to compile the file and clear the screen and run the code. Oh, what happened? Oh, I didn't save. Look at that. I didn't save. So let me save it and then compile. Clear screen, run the program. See, again, we only get the code run below this dash line. That's because the condition is checking if I is greater than 85. But when we start with 50, that's a no. So that's why they first while loop, the while loop does not print anything out, but the do while print out the initial value anyway, even though the initial value is, doesn't meet the condition. That's the difference. The do means no matter what, print 1 first. So that's why I get a 50. Again, if we change the value, 85, how about 90? Yeah, if we change the value to 90, also, then there'll be no difference. There'll be no difference. Again, I need to save it and compile. Clear screen. Wrong. Okay, now you can see both while loop and do while loop print out the same result, 90, 86, 90, 86. Okay. Okay, that's that. Let me check the time here. Good. Let's move on. That's that do while loop. How about there's another loop called a for loop. The for loop is where you know exactly how many times you want to loop. Here, you don't know how many times, right? You just say, as long as greater than 85, do something. As long as 85 greater than 85, do something. Of course, you can count, oh, it's 90, but in practical Java code, you probably don't know the value here. Maybe it's a variable from somewhere else. So there's no way for you to count how many times you want to loop. But sometimes if you do know, then you don't have to use the while loop. You can use something like the for loop. The for loop is for the loop that you know how many times you want to loop through, okay? That means you know the initial value, you know the condition, and you can increase the number. So there's 3 statements: statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. Statement 1 is the initial value. And the 2, that's a condition, that's a check or the comparison. And the last one is just like that. You want to change the variable value, and so you can. Otherwise, it will keep going. So to compare with the while loop, you have this initial variable or initial value here, and you have this condition here, and you have this the change to the condition. So you can put all that into just one line here. So you put that here. That's almost like this line. You put the condition here. You put that here. Then move that condition to here, and this one here. So that's like combine 3 lines into one. Make that into a for loop. That's keyword for, and 3 statements separated with a semicolon, and they open and close curly braces, and then do whatever you want to do there. So again, let's try that. That still loops, so we can still copy that here. Right. So you can copy there again. I want to print something in the middle. Just separate the top and the bottom. And we can, Again, save it. Oh, syntax error. See, when the color is orange, that means there's syntax error. Oh, int that. See, the error is you declare the I already, so you cannot use that second time. I wonder we can just get rid of the int. That should fix it. Yeah, you can do it. Or another way to do it is using a different variable. Don't use I. How about J? Remember that this is just a local variable. J. And of course, you have to put that here. Oh, uppercase. See, this case is sensitive. Uppercase J that is treated as undeclared variable. So you have to match. Now, great. Now it's okay. Let me save it and compile the code and clear the screen. And let's run it. Okay, do we see any difference? I don't think. See that's a while loop, and that's a for loop. There's no difference. There's no difference. Yeah. There's no difference. Same result. And it doesn't have, if we reverse it, let's say start value from 10, if that's as long as is greater than 0, we print something. Now you have to change it to decrease that. If you don't decrease, then then the 10 is always greater than 0, or some whatever value above 10 that's always greater than 0. So then you have an infinite loop. That means the program never ends. So we can try that, see what happens. Okay, let me save it. Compile. Clear. Wrong. Okay, let me move that up a little bit. So the while loop starts with 0, so that's that. And the next one from 10 down to 1. If you want to print 0, then you can always, put 0 here, right? Then you will be able to print 0 as the last value. So that's a for loop. So the for loop, normally, start with lower value and increase to high, but you can reverse it. So you can start with a higher value and a decrease and check the lower limit. The normal way is start with a low value and check, compare with a higher value and then do the increase, okay? The next example is, let's forget about the while loop. Let's just look at the for loop. We know how the while loop works, or the print even number. Okay, that's that. So this example, what this example does is from 0 and 10, and print out, or let's see, even number, I believe so. Yeah, the first one is 0, and then add 2, that's going to be 2. The next loop, add another 2, that's going to be 4. So we are going to have a 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and a 10, because we use the equal, so we will have 10. Let's see if that's the case. Again, anytime you change the program, you have to compile. You don't have to clear the screen. You just go ahead and run the program. So then we get a 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? You may ask, is ask, hey, you just print out the point, the variable here, doesn't do anything else. That's kind of boring, but you can do something actually like this. As that, add something. Let's see, the square. How about the square? Yeah. How about we call it a square? That means the 2 power 2. So let's do something power 2 and equal to the result. What's the result? Remember the mass dot square root and I. Yeah, so we are going to have a table like, okay, the value, every value 0, oh, actually 2, 10, we want double that. We want to have the square, no, square root. Did I say square root? I think we want square, right? For square, that's kind of, that's not the right way to do it. I don't think we have a math function for the, oh yeah, we do. We have the power. Yeah, power off. But for power off, we need the base and the power. Yeah, let's see. Save it. Compile. Clear. Run it. Oh yeah, like that. See, that's how you do the math. So let's say you have the, use the I as a base, and then the power of 2, that means 2 times 2, 4 times 4. Then so the 0, that's 0, 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 4, that's 16, 6 times 6, that's 36, and so on, 10 times, that's 100, right? So that's, you can, that's how you use a loop to create this kind of table. Can we do something interesting? Yeah, remember that table, that the mass, what's that called, the time thing table. Let's try that just for fun, right? This time we do the tens. Let's do the increase. That's every value, I think. Instead of, let's try that. Did I save it? Let me save it. Oh, let me check my time. Don't want to use all the time for this one example. Okay, that's good. I think we have time. Yeah, let's compile. Let's run. Now we got every value. Now every value 0 to 10. That's that. And we want loop inside another loop. Let's do that. For that, int j times 0, j less equal than 10, j plus, oh, no, not uppercase, j plus plus. So that's another loop. We don't need to have another thing. Let's shift this. We want to print something like I time I. Oh, I times j actually, and j equals to I time, oops, I times j. Let's see what happens. Let me think. Let me think. But we want to print out, and that's that one. But for the first one, let's run it. I may need to think about it, how to format the thing. So let's give it a try anyway. Oh, yep. So that's that. See the values. So the first one times the second one, that 10 times, that 10 times. I like to have a table, instead of in one column. I like to have a table. Let me think about that, and then we can do that next time, okay? But we have something else to cover. Let's move on. There's another loop I like to introduce. Hopefully it won't take much time. It's called a for each loop. We have the while loop, we have the do while loop, we have the for loop, and this for each loop. And the for each loop is exclusively to loop through elements in an array. Don't worry if you don't know what array is yet. I think in next lesson we are going to learn arrays. Yeah, hopefully, Java arrays. The arrays, is just like whatever you put the type, different type, whatever type, you put two square brackets and then declare variable. Then the class becomes an array variable. So we will cover that next time. But for now, just know that's whatever it's array. Here, like this, in this thing, we haven't learned that yet. After we learn the string array, we will learn how to, let's say when you run program, you want to pass some parameters to your program from the command. That's how we use that, but not yet, okay? We will learn that later. To learn that, we need to learn the strings first. But today, for the for each loop, we kind of jump ahead with the arrays. You just remember this is array, okay? Don't worry if you don't know it yet. But so this is array. Basically, you have different values separated with comma and curly braces and assigned to something like this is string, this is a variable, this is a type. And that thing means it's array, means multiple values, okay? In this one, there's an array of cars. We know the cars, different kind of cars, Volvo, BMW, Ford, Mazda, etc. Then we can use this for each array, even though it's still for, just like that, right? Still just a for. But the difference in this for loop, you have 3 statements, all right? 3 statements. That's the regular for loop. But the for each loop, you don't have that 3 statements. Because for each means for each value of this array. That's the for, okay? The regular for is for, do this thing, check the value, check the condition, and change the value. That kind of for, that's the regular for loop. Back to for each means you got array, you want to loop through each value. That's why I call it's called a for each loop. So the syntax is, well, there's a type because a variable and an array. The array is the input, that's the input. And the variable here and with type, it just like, it declare a local variable called a string or int, doesn't matter. Just similar to this one, This is a new variable with this type. And similarly, in the for each loop, it should say in some program, I think, some program use the keyword for each, for each. But in Java, I still use just for, but just depending on what you put here, so it knows it's a for each loop, not the regular for loop. But so what is this doing here? Okay, here's cars. The cars is a variable, that's the input. And then you create a little local variable, and you can pick any name as long as it's not same as the input. Then you say, just single value, it's called a car. Then the for loop will check each value, check this one, check this one, check the one, then one after another, and then print out. Okay, let's see how that works. So we want to copy the whole thing. Do we have a for each loop? I thought I did. If not, it's okay. We can still use this one. Copy that in and separate that out. So then let's see what happens. Let me save it. Again, I want to clear my screen. And I want to compile my code. Then I run it. They say a print for each, that means for each value here in this array. They copy the value, copy each of the value, copy the value to this variable and then print that out. And copy the second one to cars, print out. So the print global, BMW, Ford, master. So that's a for each loop. Okay, and let's see how another one. Okay. And here, in this one, we have a variable array of fruits, apple, pear, banana, orange, and so on. You can add more. And the for each loop through the fruits and copy the each value to this variable, new variable, and then print out. Save the program, compile, and run. So we print apple, pear, banana, orange. So it doesn't have to be strings all the time. And we can even, you can do a number, int, array. How about this? Scores, equal to that. And per say 85, 95, 99, 100, something like that. And then you can print out each value for, and again, you need to match, type. Match this score, this is just S, and this is not semicolon, colon, and scores, and just like that. And system dot out dot print, and just S, print that out, and save it, compile the code, run the code. So you print 85, 95, 99, 100, just like the for loop, right? So, but this time it's an integer. But for string, we need a double quote. So there's an int array and for each loop. Okay, I think, 46. Yeah, it's about the time. That's good. Okay. Again, quiz. Not many, just only 3 of them. And all right then. I see you next time. Stop.